Coming up on Hawk TV, we take a look at an update on construction, this year's altered marching band season, and the start of the volleyball season. This is Hawk TV for Friday, September 18th. Good morning, Hebron High School. I'm Ellery Lyles. While students were off campus from March until September, construction around campus carried on. Malat Woldu takes a look at obstacles caused by the inconveniences, as well as the surprising good that came from it.
The construction for the Hawk Activity Center is scheduled to be completed on February 1st, 2021. Principal A.B. Boughton gives an update on how the progress is looking right now.
You know, as soon as it's completed, we will have a big grand opening of the arena and tours to show the community and the students and the faculty all the different spaces within the arena.
Along with COVID-19, weather ended up changing the productivity of the construction plans. Pogue Construction Project Manager Dale Davis says this affected their timeline.
Weather's been a challenge. It set us back probably about 3 months in construction on the addition. But so we've been working nights, weekends, and holidays to get that back to schedule.
When the outbreak of COVID-19 happened earlier in the year, it changed the course of original construction plans. Rather than falling too far behind, the absence of students and staff at Hebron helped in the end.
When we all didn't return to school and the construction company did, they were actually able to get a lot more work done because they weren't contending with traffic and buses and students and faculty.
The company overseeing the projects, Pogue Construction, is working on both the Hawk Activity Center and the 20-year refresh.
You know, I can't say enough about Pogue Construction and their superintendent, Dale. He's on our campus every day, you know, mitigating the problems that we encounter. And, you know, he texts us back, calls us. I mean, he's on it. So that has been, you know, a tremendous help to have that open communication.
School's been really accommodating on letting us take over more parking spaces and or a lay down area for our needs.
With the Hawk Activity Center being constructed outside and the refresh inside the building, lots of changes are in the works. Assistant Principal Linda Cragen says these obstacles with construction will be worth the wait.
I just think that we need to be patient and work with one another. It is what it is, and you know, for us to have a nicer building, this building is 20 years old and it definitely needs to be refreshed. So we'll just have to work together and muddle through. We'll be great.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Malat Woldu.
Thanks, Malat. If you want to see photos of the construction renderings, a link will be down below. With many focused on the negative that came out of quarantine and shelter in place earlier this year, we wanted to do the opposite. We asked a random sampling of students one question: what was something positive that came out of your time in quarantine? What was something positive that came out of your time in quarantine?
I think the most positive thing was being able to grow my relationship with God. Since I had so much time in my hands, I was able to, you know, read scriptures more often and just take more time thinking about it and stuff.
So during quarantine, I got a new job and I got closer with my family and stuff like that, and just grew spiritually with God and just got to hang out with my friends a lot more and everything like that.
I got really good at my Fortnite skills, and I also created a workout habit that now I do on a daily basis.
Since I was home so much, I got to spend so much more time with my family, and we all bonded by doing puzzles and just really talking every single night.
I think the biggest thing for me was that I actually found out that I really enjoyed baking. Me and my friends used to bake a lot, and we would put them in like little packages and deliver them to the rest of our friends.
Thank you to all students who participated in our segment. Band is marching forward in spite of COVID-19 restrictions and cancellations. Emma Willis got to take a closer look into the changes.
Band faces many obstacles in implementing safety regulations regarding COVID-19. When rehearsing outside, they remain 15 feet apart on all sides. They also have to incorporate masks by altering them when playing indoors. Head director Andy Seeley says the most important parts with all these new protocols.
It's important that we maintain as many of the procedural and the musical ideas and the concepts, both about physical marching and musicianship, as we can during this really totally surreal and bizarre time. But that's what our job is, and to try to protect students first and foremost.
Band participated in the Bands of America Grand Nationals last year and placed third in finals along with the Best in Music caption and an invitation to the 2021 Rose Parade. Not only was the Rose Parade canceled, their show for this year was as well. Senior drum major Delaney Dyer and senior officer Jason Hamden say they were disappointed but not surprised.
Coming off of a Grand Nats year, last year we were on a really, really good high. And it was a little bit of a shock at first, but at the same time, we are still rehearsing and we have a plan B. So I think all in all, I'm just grateful that we still get to come here and do what we do.
It was something that I was really looking forward to, but at the same time, it was something that, you were kind of expecting already. So at the same time, whenever the cancellation happened, I kind of already started brainstorming what's next, because obviously just because something is canceled doesn't mean we're going to stop completely. We're going to have to keep moving forward.
The band will perform at the home football games and have a shortened UIL competition season. The band was also invited back for the 2022 Rose Parade. This year, seniors will not be able to partake in the parade, but Seeley and Hamden say that they are taking advantage of the time that they have for growth in the long term.
The kids that are freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, we still have to train those kids to be able to function in what was formerly known as the real world, as the normal world. So we have to use the options that we have right now as a training ground for what our future program is going to look like.
With everything that has happened, this year is kind of a year for self-growth. I feel like a lot of kids in the band especially could use this time to just improve themselves on their instrument, but also just focus on other skills as well to just help themselves improve.
Dyer and Hamden say that they are remaining optimistic and thankful for the opportunities they do have.
I'm just so grateful that I still get to see people and be around people and make music with them, because that's the core of who we are, regardless of the competitions that we go to or the awards we win. Really, the Hebron Band is about the culture and the people in it. So just keeping that aspect of the band going is really what's driving me forward through this time.
It really brought more people together. We kind of realized that at the end of the day, we're all together in this and that nobody's really alone.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Ema Willis.
Thanks, Ema. The band will perform during the halftime show at the football game next Friday. Despite some significant changes, the Silverwings have started their new season. Camelia Palmer takes a look into the transition into the new school year.
The new year has come with many challenges for Silverwings. They have had to adapt to many changes such as temperature checks, masks, and social distancing to ensure the safety of each other when practicing.
Everything has changed. We're just hoping, we're very optimistic with performing this year, but every guideline has changed, and so we're just kind of rolling with the punches right now. But our normal is not the same this year.
With 52 people on the team, Silverwings have had to face many obstacles in order to practice and bond with each other.
I think at the beginning of the season, we were just used to doing a big camp with all the drill team girls, and that's really where we got to meet the new rookies and get to know the team better and know what our focus is and stuff. But it was just kind of hard for all of our summer stuff to be canceled because we didn't get to do any of our camps or anything, and we just had to jump into practice.
I think we're getting better just since we've been practicing since the beginning of August. Just in a few weeks, I feel like we'll all be used to it.
Gibson says her and the team are grateful they get to perform this year, despite the many changes they've had to adapt to.
I think that this year, if any of the years, we can do this, and it's going to be hard, and obviously we all know that it's not going to be an ideal year, but I think we're all just being really grateful for every opportunity we can have to perform or any opportunity that we can have to practice, because at first I didn't think we were going to have any performances, so the fact that we were having a football season, even though it's extremely different, I'm super grateful, and I know that a lot of us are all really grateful for any opportunity that we have.
With so much still up in the air, the Silverwings are working with the information they have about performing their spring show in the future.
We'll have a show. Last year it was canceled sadly due to COVID-19, but we are going to have a show. To what capacity we are not sure yet, but we are in the planning stages to have the show this year.
The Silverwings are ready to perform and make the most of the year they have.
You know, as Silverwings, we've really been like taking, you know, the opportunity and like, even though it's not like the, you know, it's not ideal that this whole pandemic has been happening, but we're making the most of it, and I know that like we can still make those changes and still have a great year.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Camelia Palmer.
Thanks, Camelia. Silverwings will perform during halftime at the first football game on September 25th. According to head coach Karen Keeney, in a normal season, the volleyball team would have played roughly 35 matches at this point. Instead, they are preparing for their second game of the season on Friday night. Elisa Young got to look into the team's start of the season.
After missing a good portion of the spring and then practicing over the summer, the volleyball team has been adapting to the limitations of the coronavirus. Sophomore Jada Johnson and Keeney say the virus has caused significant changes.
It's definitely a lot more work because you have to clean balls and you have to do a lot of extra precautions, but other than that, we've been doing great.
We had to get the protocols down first, you know, washing hands, temperature, all that stuff. We wanted to make sure we were good at it, and we had it down. But I've enjoyed it. I love being back on the court, and by their faces, I think they're happy to be back too.
Volleyball plays the Rock Hill Hawks tonight at 6:30. Rock Hill High School is a new school in Prosper ISD opening this fall. According to Keeney, Prosper is known for having a strong volleyball program, but not knowing what to expect from the new school will be a challenge. Senior Brooke Nichols and Keeney said the team's biggest weakness is their height, but they're making up for it in other ways.
We're a very defensively forward team instead of being offensively. I think our height is a huge setback for us, but we're working around it.
We're going to have to rely on a lot of tenacity of not letting the ball drop, of just grit. We just need that grit to keep the ball off the ground, because we're going to face some hitters that we're probably not going to be able to stop at the top of the net, you know, as far as block goes, and that's your first line of defense. So my second line better be good.
Nichols and Keeney say they're anxious to see how they will respond and that there will be a learning curve for them.
It's going to be interesting, you know. We lost a bunch of key players last year, so getting that mesh has become a big part of our goals, and I think with the challenges that we're going to face, we're going to have to like work together and, you know, instead of being separate on the court.
They have to make adjustments once we get there. Once we see what we're dealing with, we have to be able to adjust during the game and not just, you know, oh, we already know this. No, this is what we need to do now to be successful. So making those adjustments and being good at making those adjustments is going to make the biggest difference.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Elisa Young.
Thanks, Elisa. The game against Rock Hill is at the new high school tonight at 6:30. In other sports news, cross country has a meet today at Marcus, and football has a scrimmage at Allen tonight at 6:30. That's it for today's broadcast. I'm Ellery Lyles. Have any story suggestions? Our email is down below. And make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.